So let me ask you a question. How does tops define destruction? Tops, tactical, operational products. Do you know Tops knives? You should, because they're making some of the best fixed blades on the planet, besides being American made with American pride. That's Tops knives. Tops' mission is to create the highest quality, rugged, unique, overbuilt, and functional tools for service members and outdoorsmen of all kinds through our superior manufacturing, finishing process, and genuine field operators testing. Badass. El Chete. Really amazing chopper. All the bells and whistles on this Kydex sheath. You got the signature whistle. Crazy freaking loud. Got a front loaded option where basically it's easy, where you don't have to pull the knife or stretch to pull the knife all the way out. It can come right out. Spring steel, like rotating belt loop, okay, belt dangler thing, which is really very well done. Really good quality that you're getting from this sheath. And it's solid, guys. It fits, and it fits the knife really extremely well. So you just kind of unsnap this and just kind of pull it right up, and it just disengages really quick. This is El Chete, designed from Leo Espinoza. One life, one knife. Now, the El Chete was designed from Leo to be a knife that just demolishes wood as just mainly a chopper. It's successful, and Leo, you hit it out of the park. Leo Espinoza was also on with at Tops with Craig, his manager, not too long ago on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. Probably about a couple weeks ago, if you want to take a look at it. It was an excellent interview, and it was just a pleasure to have Tops on, as just one of the best American knife makers in the world. He did a great job in terms of making something that's going to be a demolisher of wood. A very good, strong, forward weight, balanced, good ass chop. But this is also very versatile. Now, you notice this really exaggerated but extremely generous and appreciated finger choil right here that you can really choke up on this knife. It's got a 1/4 inch spine. I mean, you can see the spine in that reinforced tip, which is just a thing of freaking beauty. But this thing is still under 2 pounds. So with that finger choil and choking it up on top there, you can do some fine work on this knife, as opposed to just being a chopper, which you'll see on, when I do the cutting on with my demonstration. You can do some fine work. You can actually probably process some fat wood with this knife, because it came extremely sharp. And what impressed me the most, which I'll show you at the end of the video, I'm gonna go back to the paper cutting, and I'm gonna show you how the edge retention held up after cutting with it. Now, at this point, guys, I did obviously cut with it, and I was very impressed with what I did, what I was able to do with it, and how easy it was to kind of really just barrel through wood. The major purpose also of the demonstrations is to see how comfortable this sits in your hand. And I thought I would have some hot spots right down here. So because if you kind of hold the knife right here, you might have some hot spots with the friction of this where the lanyard holes are here. And you also have here just a very solid with the lanyard holes, like a glass breaker or something like that, or whatever you want to call it. You might have some friction problems if you're holding it right here. But obviously when you kind of go right into the finger choil, you have all the room in the world to be able to hold this very securely in your hand and have that balance that you need in order to do the chops or to do like the very fine work. So like I said, designed from Leo Espinoza, and he did an amazing job in designing this knife. Overall, this knife is around 17.5 inches. The blade, which I'm a big fan of, 1095 steel. It's covered with a beautiful midnight bronze finish, which I absolutely love. It's got an RC Rockwell hardness around 56 to 58. It's got a devastating 12-inch blade with 11.38 inches cutting surface. The weight is about 1 pound and 13 ounces, under 2 pounds. Out on the front Kydex sheath, designed with the whistle, all the bells and whistles with that sheath that you get from Tops. The handle, what they wanted to do with the handle is to give you something that has a lot of purchase, that your hand really kind of hugs, and you can get a lot of good grip on this, as opposed at, in relation to like how you would feel comfortable in your hand holding like a hatchet or an axe or something like that. And they did that by sandwiching all this micarta. Now, this looks kind of like a 7-layer cookie. Now, if you don't know like an Italian 7-layer cookie, you have the chocolate, the frosting, the different colors and all that. So you have got 1, 2, 3, counting the tang is 4, 5 more black micarta, 6 is the red micarta, and 7 is the other side of micarta. So you have 7 layers of micarta, including the tang, if we include the tang, on this, that your hand really kind of just completely, your flubber of your hand really hugs this really well. I can't describe to you how comfortable they made this. If this was a thinner handle with this size blade, it wouldn't have worked. It works so well with the finger choil and with the fact of that sandwich micarta, that's 7 layers of sandwich micarta. It not only does it look good, I'm a big fan of just how beautiful the handle looks. Fit and finish is excellent on this thing. They thought it out to keep it comfortable and solid in your hand. Now the actual handle size is around 5.5 inches, but what really counts, so the finger choil to here is about 4.5, a little bit over 4.5 inches, which is enough purchase to have a very large hand to be able to put this in your hand and be able to cut with it and have it secure, so you know your hand is not hanging over into the lanyard hole, which might be a little uncomfortable. So if you have small hands and you want to hold it here, this might be a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't hold it this way. I kind of held the finger choil, so I'm not sure if this would be uncomfortable, but I would imagine after a lot of cutting, it might kind of dig into your finger a little bit. So I would say this is probably good for a large to XL to 3XL hands, and that'll work the best in terms of how this thing was designed. That's tops. Now this tops of Chete is a monster chopper. That's why it was made. That's why it was invented. So basically, I'm just gonna chop. I'm gonna chop and chop and chop some more. Just gonna process some wood, just gonna bang the edge, just gonna work on the edge and just do what the knife was intended to do. Now, obviously, is it a sharp edge? Can it cut cordage? Can it cut rope? Can it do some push cuts on some electrical cable? Can it splice rubber hoses with no problem? Absolutely, you can do all that stuff. But really, what did you come here? You came to see this thing chop into wood, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this was a, that was a 2x4, but I wanted to show you also the versatility of this knife as far as taking that tight grip, being able to do some slicing work with the knife. Especially because it's got such a great edge profile for cutting and for just banging it into stuff. You can definitely take a tighter grip and do some nice slicing work with it. And I'm imagining, like I said, it could be a good camp knife. It could be a good camp knife where you can process wood and you can cut your cordage, you can cut your rope, you can set up your stakes and all that stuff. And you could do a lot with this knife, because the fact that it's got a great edge geometry, it's got 1095 steel, it's got great edge retention, it's going to last through an entire camping trip, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. What I noticed about this knife mostly was just so much fun to cut with, so much fun to have in hand. It kind of just really blended into the hand. Obviously, there's always some time you need to get used to the knife, but this particular knife, as soon as you put it in the hand, it kind of just melts into your hand and you're able to use it with no problem. So this is now a Home Depot processed wood 2x6, and you can see the bites that this freaking beast is taking. It is making quick work of this 2x6, and listen, I use many types of knives on this same type of plank, and I know the difference. You can see the difference when a knife has the profile to cut, the geometry cut, the front canter, the weight, the handle, the comfort, and the grip to be able to do what it needs to do and get the job done. Excellent knife. Obviously, we're going to do some batoning. Now, the batoning that I'm using, some really hard, dried out fireplace wood, or firewood rather, and it's just extremely hard to cut. In fact, I think I actually sped this up a little bit just to get it going. I'm lacking a good baton stick, so I'm kind of just playing around and seeing what I'm using. But this rubber hammer, as long as it's going to last, is basically what I'm using right now. But I sped it up just for you not to sit around to it, but it definitely got right through it, and no damage on the edge whatsoever, which you'll see towards the end of the video as well. And I didn't stop there. I did some more batoning with it with the processed wood, and it handled everything with absolutely no problem. One thing, guys, it was an absolute pleasure to use this. An absolute pleasure to hold. No hot spots. It was just really a lot of fun to use. You can see the quality of a Tops knife, and they're purpose-driven. Whatever they're advertising for is what they're purpose-driven for. No edge damage whatsoever, no rolls, no chips. Everything's absolutely fine. And I didn't go easy on this. I really I really pushed this thing hard. Here, I'm just trying to kind of get rid of some dead branches here, and obviously it handled it with no problem. That's the Chete from Tops. Sharpness test at the end, just having a little fun. I almost got all through it. I just had to really dig that into the stump, but it would obviously cut right through and no problem. That's a hard plastic bottle too, those Arizona bottles. And that's just to kind of test out, see how sharp the knife is after doing the cutting. Almost through, almost all the way through. Not quite. All right, so this is obviously after cutting. If you don't believe me, you can see the surface scratch, the surface area there, but also the fact that the edge retained no damage whatsoever after beating the snot out of this thing, the snot. I beat everything out of this thing. I didn't think anything would happen. This is Tops knives, and they're really good. Afterwards, still pretty much paper slicing sharp, guys. I mean, I am very impressed after doing all that cutting and that really hard firewood cutting and all that. It's still, pretty damn sharp. And I think that honestly, with a little bit of honing or maybe just a leather strap, you're going to bring this thing to that keen, sharp edge that it came with. Tops. All right, guys. So this is Tops. Tops. Made in the USA, made with pride in the USA. After speaking to Leo and the guys and seeing basically the history and how they approach making their knives, besides knowing that all their knives are so well done, there's a selection for everybody. If, let's just say, you find a design on a Tops knife that you don't like, chances are you're going to find a design that you like. They have so many different types of designs there, so many different selections, that you're bound to find a Tops knife that really talks to you. This one definitely really talks to me in terms of a chopper, the look of it, the bronze finish, the handle, the sandwich micarta, that finger choil, the balance, the power of this thing. This El Chete is absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love this freaking knife for what it was made for and for what they don't even talk about and how much more it is besides being just a chopper. And take a Tops home. You will not regret it. Thank you to Tops for sending me this knife for a review. It was much appreciated, and looking forward to more renditions in the future so we can definitely get some more Tops on my channel, because my channel definitely needs more Tops. So that's all I have for you guys. This is El Chete. Fantastic knife. Did a great job. Good looking and fantastic performance on this thing. I'll see you in the next sword and knife video, guys. Peace out, everybody. Ciao.